Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, it's me, your host, Fearless Floyd, and welcome to the show. As you see from your screen and the title, we are covering Kelli Johnson, who has two titles, Judge Johnson and Defendant Johnson. Sometimes she comes in to different entrances into the courthouse. For those of you who didn't watch the video that I did about Kelli and her little escapades, it's right here. Let me clear my floating panel. So this is what it looks like. It's the VCR class success. So in there, I cover a whole lot of ground, and part of that ground I cover is this right here. So let's take a look. This is Judge Kelli Johnson. She's a district felony level court judge here in Harris County, Texas. And is she in trouble? I don't mean to laugh, but when you hear everything, you're just like, has she resigned yet? Here we go.
Also tonight, a judge pulled over reckless driving, and then a sergeant said he smelled alcohol.
Only 13 Investigates obtained audio of that encounter with Judge Kelli Johnson.
Last month, we told you she had been absent from the bench for weeks for, quote, personal matters after a crisis intervention call to her home. That was after this traffic stop you're about to hear. ABC 13's Jessica Willey has the update.
First off, this is body-worn camera video of this incident, but there is no video, only audio. The sheriff's office says there was an obstruction when this recording was made, and it wasn't just on one camera, it was on two cameras. The stop lasted 45 minutes. I spoke with a couple of attorneys and a retired police officer.
Both cameras. How suspect is that? Just saying, that's not very transparent. Imagine if that was a police officer involved shooting. Maybe you need some redundancy, Harris County Sheriff's Office, because that's unacceptable. Absolutely 100% unacceptable that both officers' body cams malfunctioned. And all we got was audio and no video. Absolutely. But as you see from later in this video, you're going to see more and more criminal indictments or allegations and indictments and trials and convictions, plea bargains for officials in the city of Houston and Harris County. They're going to be held accountable under the new Whitmire administration. So look for a lot of that.
Tonight, who told me Johnson, who is well liked, got off lucky.
How you, sir, could have done what you did.
3 days before Harris County Judge Kelli Johnson found Brian Coulter guilty of murdering his girlfriend's son, whose body was left to rot for a year, she was pulled over by Harris County Sheriff's Office sergeant. It was around 8 p.m. April 12th along 290.
Drive to the next exit and get off the freeway.
They ended up in a parking lot along Spring Cypress.
You know the reason why you've been stopped?
I'm sure I was speeding.
Correct. And you're driving over on Jackrabbit. You're driving on the wrong side of the road?
Okay.
Okay. Have you had anything to drink tonight?
No.
You sure? Because it smells like either you've drowned yourself in perfume or
If you would like to do a field sobriety test, you can.
All right, I'll have someone come over and take care of that.
While they wait for the deputy to come to the scene, Johnson identifies herself.
I'm a judge, and it's
You're a judge?
a criminal district judge, yes.
Okay.
Long week.
And then brings up the Coulter case.
Can I tell you where I've been?
Sure.
So I've been at I've tried the Brian Coulter case, which is y'all's, all week.
As the second deputy arrives, she asked about the initial reason for the stop.
Multiple traffic violations, speeding, unsafe lane changes, driving on the wrong side of the road.
The sergeant is keenly aware of the recordings, though both cameras are obstructed. Johnson appeals to the female deputy and asks for a supervisor.
But if I do this test and you don't think I do well, I lose my career.
Yeah.
And this is, can you call, I'd like a witness. Can we call Ben Katrib? I'll call Sydney Miller, Sheriff Gonzalez.
Okay, I don't know who Ben Katrib is, but Sydney Miller is Sid Miller, the land commissioner for Texas. Maybe he's a deputy. I don't know. Sheriff Gonzalez, can we call? This is a huge deal for me. Okay. Yeah, it's a huge deal for everybody. At this day and age, you're still getting DWIs. Really. In this age of Uber and Lyft and all the other modes of transportation that are readily available for intoxicated individuals or those who may be impaired mentally or physically, having lost their faculties, right? Oh, and boy, is this going to come to haunt this case. Stay tuned. We're going to get right to that. That's a standard, ma'am? Because you are a drug intervention judge. Oh, yeah. Just wait, folks.
This is a huge deal for me, okay?
Ma'am, here's the thing. I am her supervisor, okay? She is asking you to exit the car so she can administer SFSTs to you. Everything we do is recorded on that camera, this body camera, everything that we hear. We're not calling Lieutenant Katrib, and we're not calling Sheriff Gonzalez. This is an investigation into an impaired driver.
I could lose my entire career.
You're right, Your Honor.
You don't believe.
And here's the thing, Your Honor. I could lose my entire career if I let you use the position that you, being a judge,
I'm not using a position
to do this. I smelt it. She sees that your eyes are. She sees that your eyes are red and bloodshot. So she is going now as the wind's blowing through. Yes, I do smell.
All right, I'll step out.
You're gonna put your left foot on the line.
The deputy performs the test. They agree she failed a couple clues, but not enough for an arrest.
She's probably been drinking, just not to the level of.
When you got her out, could you smell it?
I could smell it then once she got out.
Despite the alleged traffic violations, Judge Johnson, an elected official, was given a warning.
So I'm going to write you a warning citation for the speeding, 77 in a 65.
Damn, that must be nice.
And
it's your
let
lucky
it go
day,
at that. Fair enough?
Judge Johnson.
All right.
Judge Johnson did not respond to our requests for comment, and neither did the courts when we inquired about her status. The Harris County Sheriff's Office says the deputies did nothing wrong. They can use discretion, they say, when issuing citations. Jessica Willey, ABC 13 Eyewitness.
Mandatory blood withdrawal. Oh, y'all forgot all about that? That's discretion. Well, let's just see how that discretion played out. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, who's that picture of? Dang, you pretty girl.
Harris County District Judge Kelli Johnson arrested for a DWI early this morning. Fox 26's Abigail Dye joining us live with more information on what's happened here. Abigail, after being let go on a similar traffic stop just 2 months ago?
Yeah, that's right. It appears that Judge Johnson is dealing with some personal matters. Earlier this year, she took leave from her bench, the court citing a personal matter. And then in April, she was pulled over, suspected of drunk driving, but she wasn't arrested. She's overseen hundreds of cases here downtown. And after the arrest this morning, she finds herself on the other side of the courtroom. Judge Kelli Johnson, known for her high-profile work while sitting in the 178th District Court of Harris County. She was on all three of the A.J. Armstrong murder trials and in April found Brian Coulter guilty of capital murder for beating 8-year-old Kendrick to death.
All right, before we go on, hey, Kelly, can I take you to a meeting, please? Will you go to the Post Oak Club with me? We could actually go tonight. Tonight's the birthday party for the month of June. Everybody celebrating their birthday, or their birthday, as I call it. So I'm extending an olive branch, a warm welcome to the Post Oak Club. You'll find that there are some very influential, high-profile people who attend the Post Oak Club. My sponsor's best friend is a Hall of Famer. Absolutely. Yeah. If you'd like to join a weekend meeting or a weekday meeting at the early crack of dawn, well before you get to the bench, that's hosted by a Hall of Famer as well. So don't think you would be belittling yourself or demeaning your stature and character by attending an Alcoholics Anonymous club like the Post Oak Club. And I assure you, you would love the Post Oak Club. So you have an open invitation. You can either join me or please attend the Post Oak Club. It's on Long Point Road, not far down the road from where you got this DWI. Absolutely, Kelly. So take it from somebody who has 3 DWIs, has a 60-year sentence, and I'm doing it on parole. And I have 22 years sober, May 10th, 2024. That if I can do it, you can do it. And obviously you need help. So we welcome you at the Post Oak Club with open arms, my dear. And we don't care if you're a judge or not. You're just another alcoholic in denial, trying to get on the road to sobriety and recovery. So we look forward to seeing you there, Kelly. And if anybody's watching this video is a friend of Kelly's, please share this video with her because it is an open invitation from myself and everyone at the Post Oak Club. Absolutely. And I speak for everybody there, of course, because we welcome anybody at any time. Go check us out over there, Kelly. You'll really like it. I promise you. I mean, that's taking it from somebody who used to hate AA. But I really do dig that place over there.
A case that clearly haunted Judge Johnson.
Those children have haunted me this last week. They have haunted my mind, and they have interrupted my safe space when I leave this building.
Just days before those remarks, Johnson was pulled over by a Harris County Sheriff's deputy. HCSO saying the deputy pulled her over for speeding and smelled alcohol on her breath. He initiated a sobriety test but didn't find probable cause for an arrest and let her go with just a speeding warning.
Had that not been a district judge, oh yeah, you know what was up. Straight to jail. Yeah. Okay, as you heard when you're going to see in this video, when the female officer was applying the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration's let me reply to Jesse. How should you call him? Standardized field sobriety test, the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, or HGN as it's called, where you keep your head steady and the officer takes the lights. And what they're doing is trying to go to the furthest deviation of your vision. And if you have any type of, and what what the white paper said, okay, from the PhD that wrote this for the National Highway Transportation Safety Association
Administration.
is that when it gets over there, if you have an adulterating substance, your eyes will start shaking, okay, vibrating. That's called nystagmus. Some people have naturally occurring nystagmus. I do. I was locked up with a guy his eyes shook constantly. He was like, whoa, man, this is like weird. Look at this guy in the eye. Yeah, that was a trip. So that's what is administered. And you cannot pass or fail a standardized field sobriety test, period, in the story. There is no pass or fail. All it does is provide the officers clues, and that is the legal terminology, clues that you may have an adulterating substance in your body. Now, what that looks like, you could have had a head injury that causes nystagmus. You could be born with it naturally.
Carol.
Nystagmus. There are over-the-counter medications that cause nystagmus. I mean, the list is just enormous. It's like over 200 different OTAs, or OTCs rather, over-the-counters. So, like I said, I'm an expert in DWIs, and I've done my homework. I've done my research. So when I talk about this, bet I know what I'm talking about. Here we go. We're going to finish this.
A wonderful person, but her behavior that night is not wonderful, right? You don't, as an officer of the court, most certainly as an elected judge, you are not supposed to use that position as a cudgel to try to get your way out of being in trouble.
Now, 2 months later, Johnson has a mugshot, accused of driving under the influence after Houston police pulled her over around 1:55 a.m. in Northwest Houston Tuesday. Attorney and former judge Charles Adams weighs in. What exactly does that mean for the cases that she's currently presiding over?
I don't think it'll have, if any, it'll have very little impact on the cases on her docket right now. There's the possibility that they'll continue to see visiting judges handle those cases, but I don't expect them to be reassigned. And I think that this issue will be quickly resolved with an agreement.
Okay, you heard him say those cases will be handled by visiting judges. See, this is how they get around this fucking bullshit, bringing these visiting judges in. Well, who are these visiting judges? These are former judges that got elected out of office. But as long as they sign up with the administrative regional judge, they can be a visiting judge and go sit back on the bench. And some of these clowns are there permanently because the presiding judge is incapacitated, boom, i.e., Kelli Johnson. So, if you got a case going on, you may go in, you might see this judge, you go in next time, it's a different judge. Next time you go in, it's another different judge. Like, Jesus Christ, who's the judge of this court? And some of these judges have no business practicing on the bench, but they allow it. And it's a screwed up system. How can you replace an elected official with some official appointed by some judicial administrative agency? That's not the will of the people. The people didn't vote for that. The court set that up. So I got a lot of beefs with the system, as you see, and I can point them out why they are unconstitutional, immoral, and unethical.
To enter into some sort of pretrial diversion program, and she will just move on as if nothing ever happened.
Now, the district court did confirm with us over the phone that other judges will be overseeing Johnson's docket for the time being, but they didn't comment directly on this case or say anything about her employment status. We've also reached out to Judge Johnson, and we haven't heard back for comment yet. Now, you might be wondering, I was wondering, what happens to her previous cases? Do any of these charges affect those convictions that she has on the books right now? I'll have that answer for you coming up on the News Edge at 10. Reporting live in downtown, Abigail.
So, do you think Kelli Johnson should resign? Leave a comment below. Tell us what you think about these issues.
All righty then. Twice.
Got the warning the first time. She started pleading, I'm a judge. I'll call Gonzalez, Land Commissioner Sid Miller, Lieutenant, whoever what his name was. Right. Right. Thought I had that other video pulled up. Did I not? Did I? Oh no. I'm gonna have to go look for it. So she did not. And I'll be right with you. Hang on 1 second. No. 3, 2, I had it lined up. Yes. On YouTube. Here we go. You can if you want. You're that hungry. Mute that little 5-second video. I got Obama last time. All right. Y'all ready? Judge who presided over A.J. Armstrong case in court over DWI charge. Are you ready for the clown show? Because I'm fixing to clown an attorney and a judge. Watch.
Our criminal court judge is on the other side of the bench tonight.
Judge Kelli Johnson was arrested accused of driving while intoxicated. Investigator Bill Spencer has been working this case all day long, and he's joining us now live from the criminal courthouse downtown. And Bill, this certainly is an unusual case.
Yeah, I mean, Keith and Danielle, this is an incredibly unusual case because here you have this high-powered sitting judge used to doling out justice from behind the bench, now on the receiving end as a defendant. And that causes its own set of problems, chief among them the fact that the district attorney, Kim Ogg, has now asked that her entire office be recused from prosecuting this case. I mean, think about it. The district attorney's office is going to have to deal with this judge for years to come. And they're supposed to prosecute her? No, they don't want that to happen.
Morning.
With a big warm smile and a good morning, criminal court judge Kelli Johnson walked into the courthouse today just as she has done thousands of times over her 20-plus years in the judicial system, but this time was like no other. Now, she finds herself on the completely other side of the bench. Now, this all went down on June 25th at approximately 2 o'clock in the morning. Houston police say that the judge was sitting here behind the wheel. She made a left-hand turn onto Hempstead Road in the 11,000th block. And they say what is unusual is that when they stopped her, she already had her hands up like this.
We asked you the question and the concept about beyond a reasonable doubt.
Judge Johnson is very well known for presiding over several high-profile cases, including the A.J. Armstrong murder case 3 separate times. She's also the current presiding judge over the 178th Criminal District Court. She's a former assistant Harris County District Attorney. She was named Prosecutor of the Year in 2008 and 2010 and volunteers her time with the Success Through Addiction Recovery Program for teenagers. As to the matter of her DWI arrest, her attorney Christopher Tritico sent this statement to KPRC2 Investigates. It reads, quote, Judge Kelli Johnson was not behind the wheel intoxicated. In fact, she voluntarily submitted to a breath test, which came back 0.0% or no alcohol. This situation was not caused by an alcohol or drug issue. Right outside the courtroom this morning with the judge by her side, attorney Christopher Tritico had this to say about his client and the case against her.
I always has been a big believer in the judicial process, and she's going to let that play itself out, and that's the only statement we're going to make today. Thank you very much.
So the big question becomes right now, who is going to prosecute this judge? Well, it could be assistant district attorneys from Montgomery County or Fort Bend County or Galveston County. At this point, we just don't know. Her next court appearance will be August 6th. Reporting live downtown, Bill Spencer, KPRC 2 News.
And, well, are you ready for this? Galveston County will not be prosecuting Kelli Johnson. Do you know why? Well, I do. Who's the DA in Galveston County? Jack Rohde. Who's Jack Rohde, Floyd? Post-conviction prosecutor for the Harris County DA's office before he decided to go to Galveston and run for DA. That guy. I would have no knowledge about who he is or litigated against him. No. I have no idea who Jack Rohde is. We're talking about Kelli. Kelli Bobelli. Y'all ready for the clown show? I am. I'm ready to clown another attorney. I'm ready to clown the judge. Sorry, Kelli. I'm going to have to take you out to the woodshed. I've been embarrassed many times. What that's all about. Ever quote. Know where the hell that came from. So here's a story. Almost Kelli. Okay. Guess I spelled Kelli wrong. There it is. That's where I stole it from. So just to reiterate, Judge Kelli Johnson, who currently serves as presiding judge of the 178th Criminal District Court, was arrested Tuesday at 1:55 a.m. and charged with driving while intoxicated, a misdemeanor by the Houston Police Department. She has since made bond. This is right down the street from where I live, where I reside, where I lay my head. And Judge Johnson was elected by her peers as the administrative judge over the criminal board. Overseeing that board means she helps manage court caseloads, implementation of new rules, and other administrative tasks. Before the honor took the bench, Judge Johnson spent 17 years as the assistant district attorney for Harris County. At one point in time, she worked as the felony chief for the DA's office in the court she now presides, the 178th. She also helps young women on her docket overcome addictions, volunteering as a judge with the Success Through Addiction Recovery, or STAR program. Judge Johnson has degrees from Texas Christian University and South Texas College of Law. Are y'all ready for the clown show? All right. If you remember correctly, the judge, the attorney, let me back this up. That guy, Christopher Tritico. Right? And here we go. Let's just freeze it right here and blow it up. And make sure, am I on screen share? Yeah, I am. And I quote Christopher Tritico, attorney for Kelli Johnson. Judge Kelli Johnson was not behind the wheel intoxicated. So he admits she was behind the wheel, which is, there's no doubt there. In fact, see, this is he didn't even have to make this statement, but he did. So, rule number 1, do not put evidence in the public sphere. Make them prove it. In fact, she voluntarily submitted to a breath test, which came back 0.0. Okay. Or no alcohol. This situation was not caused by an alcohol or drug abuse issue. What caused it? Oh, let me close that quote out. Well, what caused it, Christopher? Because do you understand what the definition of intoxicated is? I don't.
This situation was not caused by an alcohol or drug issue. Right outside the courtroom this morning.
There you go. You heard him say it, right? Right. I know you did. So, your first DWI in the state of Texas is a misdemeanor. And this is what it falls under: Texas Penal Code, Section 4904, driving while intoxicated. If you go to 4905, 06, 07, 08, those deal with aircraft, amusement rides, boats of the ilk. So let's read this. 4904, DWI. A person commits an offense if the person is intoxicated while operating a motor vehicle in a public place. All right. One simple statement. We already know that she was in Harris County, Texas, because she was right over here on Hempstead, public place. Obviously, she's operating the motor vehicle because her attorney said so. Right? All right. So what we're looking for here is, what the hell is the definition of intoxicated under Texas state law? And if you were paying attention in my prior video and prior in this video, you heard me make this statement: loss of mental and or physical faculties. Did I not? Did Floyd call it? Because I'm fixing to show you what the definition of intoxicated is in Texas. That would fall under 49.01 definitions under the intoxicated related offenses statutes. Let's read it. In this chapter, boom, boom, boom. Number 2, intoxicated means A, not having the normal use of mental or physical faculties by reason of the introduction of alcohol, a controlled substance, a drug, a dangerous drug, a combination of 2 or more of those substances, or any other substance into the body. That was the mic drop. B, having an alcohol concentration of 0.08 or greater. Well, let's see. By process of elimination, she didn't have a blood alcohol content of 0.08 or greater. They didn't take a blood test that I know of. So what do they have left as proof? Well, we have a Harris County Sheriff's deputy and a Harris County Sheriff's officer, a sergeant, from a prior law enforcement encounter 2 months earlier, where she was let go with a warning, where she had every clue that you could possibly have of a person driving while intoxicated in the state of Texas. But they let her go. And then she got pulled over again. And once again, we have the same thing. So in the state of Texas, all it takes is 2 witnesses to get on the stand and state, in my expert opinion, yes, Defendant Johnson had lost her mental and or physical faculties by reason of the introduction of some unknown substance. We felt she was unsafe to be behind the wheel and operate a motor vehicle in public. That's why we took her into custody. So, Christopher, you can get in court all day long and you can argue that BAC, but guess what? That dog won't hunt. Been there, done that, a hard way. I don't know anything about intoxicated related offenses. Absolutely not. I don't know anything about sobriety and recovery. Absolutely not. I don't know anything about sobriety. Absolutely not. I don't know anything about AA. Absolutely not. So it's people like me, Kelly, that you should be pointing to and raising up. Hey, man, this guy's doing the right thing. Now I'm exposing you for who you are. You're just an everyday person, just like we are. You're no different from me. Apparently, you have an issue. whatever that looks like, and you're hiding it. So by hiding it means you're in denial because you're not coming out into the public because you're a public figure. Sorry. When you run for office, you become a public figure. Like me, I'm on social media. I'm a public figure, whether I like it or not. So you need to come clean. If you don't come clean with yourself, you're never going to come clean. You're always going to be in denial. You're always going to be an addict. Doesn't matter what substance it is. It can be sex, gambling, shopping, prescription drugs, non-prescription drugs. I mean, an addiction's addiction. And apparently your addiction is interrupting your life, and it's definitely interrupting the standard operating procedures of the public. So, in my opinion, ma'am, I think it would behoove you to resign, since you, in your own words, if I get a DWI, I go to jail, I lose my career. Well, ma'am, you spellcast. It's time for you to step down, Kelli. You can always come back as a visiting judge once you've recovered. You're in your recovery and sobriety. You have a handle on things. You're not going to be out on the streets, driving on the wrong side of the road and speeding and turning from the wrong lane, smelling of alcohol. And again, I'm going to invite you over to the Post Oak Club. What I did mention in that earlier video, not only are Hall of Famers there, but there's a gold medalist, an Olympian, probably a couple more. One for sure that I know, that I've personally met there. Absolutely. So don't think you're too good or too uppity or too high of station to come down and grovel with people who just got out of a halfway house or three-quarter house. You don't want to go mix with the people that you've been in front of for 17 years. Some of you probably sent to jail. You got to forgive yourself. They have to forgive you and move on. But see, most people, when I tell them I was locked up for 14 years and 2 months, that just fucks them up. I'm like, it's okay, man. I used it wisely. Absolutely. It got me right. Turned my life around. Yeah, it worked. And it wasn't anything that TDCJ did to me. Wasn't anything that Mark Kent Ellis did to me or the state of Texas. Trust me. A little bit higher, baby. Little bit higher. Once you get there and you give it away, it comes back tenfold. It does. I promise you. Life is so good. So if you want to get up here and argue all day long that you didn't have a BAC, a .08 or greater, knock yourself out, baby. Let me tell you, they're going to come out and they're going to hit you just like this. And if you didn't know that as a felony prosecutor, the first chair, not only the first chair, the chief of the division, was that you? And you don't know this? Oh, that's right. Because as of 1994, all the way up till August 31st, 2005, every felony DWI conviction in the state of Texas is bogus, fraudulent. Not one is alleged the commission date of the prior intervening conviction or whatever that looked like, whether it was a probation date, a parole date, a discharge date. Yeah. Not one indictment. Now I've read dozens. Not one. Not one. Just like I had the bounty. Put up a car title. Anybody can prove I'm guilty of a third-degree felony DWI as of July 10th, 2001, of the law in effect at that time, against my indictment, I would sign over that title of the car to him. Yeah, 10 grand. I'll put up cash bounty. Cash bounty, 10 grand. You can prove it. You go read my trial transcripts. Go read my complaint. You go read my indictment. You go read my charge to the jury. And my intervening commission date from 1994 is not alleged. It's not proven beyond a reasonable doubt to the jury. And nobody else's has either. Not one, but you didn't know that. Now you know. So that's how they're going to get you, Kelly. Because they're going to look at that video, they're going to look at your speech, and they're going to get those two cops in there. One of them's going to be a DRE, drug recognition expert. My expert. How long have you been on the force? Oh, I've been HPD veteran for 35 years. Oh, you're a DRE. What's a DRE? It's a drug recognition expert. I take 18 hours of continued learning education at Sam Houston State University. George H. Beto Jr. Criminal Justice Center on weekends, ma'am, or remotely. Make himself sound real big and important. Jury's just eating this up. How do I know that? Been there, done there, baby. So, I tell you guys, I know what the hell I'm talking about. I know what the hell I'm talking about. So let me give some kudos, some accolades where accolades are due, because I got a text today from somebody. Let me go crank this up for you. I had to restart my computer, so everything's dead. It's just popping right up. There at that crazy Fearless Floyd guy show. That dude, he's such a fool. He a fool with it. And boom, 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 boom. All right, pass. Where the hell did they go? Oh, here it is. Just a little side note. And the reason I like to show this kind of stuff is because, when I first got out of prison, only thing I knew was law. And I knew DWI law, forensic evidentiary law, appellate law, state post-conviction, federal post-conviction, wrongful conviction, innocence, and actual innocence petitions. And I tried to get a job with any law firm. I sent out hundreds of resumes. I didn't get one interview. I wonder why. It must suck when you're looking at a resume from a parolee who just did 14 years and 2 months flat, who's got more citations than you have, and you've been practicing law for 20 years, has more publications than you do. Obviously, he's much smarter than you. So, didn't get any interviews. However, one of the guys that I was locked up with over on the Win Unit, who did 25 flat, was also a jailhouse lawyer. So me and him, we knew each other, hung out in the law library. And he got out for me. And bam, guess where we met? Parole office. Hey, man, what's up? How you doing? Oh, I'm all right, man. Well, he does work. for criminal defense attorneys. And he's had a couple attorneys reach out to him and send him samples of my work, and I never hear back. I wonder. Update: assault charges against Harris County District Court judge dismissed. Charges against Frank Aguilar were dismissed when the district attorney's office determined there wasn't enough evidence to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt. And is there any more to read? No, I think that's it. Oh, there's a video. Well, let's watch the video. Obviously, I haven't watched the video yet.
Against a who was arrested last year in Galveston. Judge Frank Aguilar had been charged with assault causing bodily injury to a family member. In the motion to dismiss today, the Galveston DA's office said probable cause exists, but there is insufficient evidence to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt.
Bam. I cannot confess as to who the hell wrote that. I don't know. Yeah, we're badass when we're badass. So for all of you out there who think jailhouse lawyers are garbage and don't know what the fuck they're talking about, better think again. Or recognize. Some of us are very badass. So badass we'll do circles around you. I've read y'all's court-appointed appellate briefs. I just talked to a paid defense counsel in Pennsylvania and clown that fool. God, I didn't get him to. He violated the rights of his client on the phone. We're on a conference call, three-way, me, him, and the attorney and the client. He violated the rights of his client, discriminated against him because he's an American Indian. And then he was practicing medicine without a license, all on the same call. I was appalled. This is a retained attorney. He used to be a public defender, but that tells me everything right there. He didn't get recruited out of law school because he sucked. And now he's a podunk criminal defense attorney. Boom. Hey, bro, here's the Pennsylvania Supreme Court opinion, came out last month. Right on point what this case is all about. Get the body cam footage, get the dash cam footage, put it on thumb drive, take this case, walk into court, hand it to the DA, say, I'm ready for trial. How about you? You know what he told me? Well, I'll file a motion to suppress the evidence. I go, well, why would you do that? Why don't you just kill the case immediately? I could just get that evidence, exculpatory evidence, and present it to the freaking DA. Say, let's rock and roll, baby. It's on. But that's not how it operates. It's the machinations, the money, the well-oiled machine. Okay. It's not about seeking justice. This is all about seeking prosecutions. You're guilty until you can prove yourself innocent. Criminal justice system in America is corrupt. It's fraudulent, needs to be changed. This whole system is fucking trash. Trash. You know why? Here's the perfect example. Let me tell you how hard it is to get to the United States Supreme Court to get a review. And then when you finally do get there, they just ain't got enough time to deal with all the cases that get submitted. So they just deny without written order, just dozens at a time with blanket orders. You just go through page after page after page, and I'm on one of those. Supreme Court reporter, deny without written order, 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 deny, just pages. One after, 50 to a page. Is that any kind of justice? Those cases are there because they need to be reviewed because they hold public interest. How do I know? Because I went there and I alleged easily. Okay. I don't know how many felony convictions. I used to have the numbers. I want to say it's like probably 100,000 felony DWI offenders from 1994 all the way up till 2005, August 31st, 2005. So the law changed September 1st, 2005. And that's what they did away with all the mumbo jumbo that Mothers Against Drunk Driving was up there in Austin, Texas, pressuring legislators to pass more laws to stop repeat DWI offenders. Hello, here I am, 60 years. Thank you, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Appreciate you. That's cool, though. You got my heart right. It's just the rest of his parole I'm kind of a little fucked up about. Do you think I deserve it? Because you know what? I don't see y'all out here now. I don't see y'all in the 178th court protesting Kelli Johnson anymore, holding her accountable. What happened to y'all? Y'all done? Y'all ain't mad no more? Y'all happy? Happy Mothers Against Drunk Driving? Just asking. I need to know. So, Kelli, you're welcome over to POC. Come see us. Come see us. Come see us. Save your soul. Because you know what it is? Got to work it, baby. So go get it, Kelli. Want you can come by, pick me up, and we'll go together. You can text me. You can find me, fearlessfloydshow@yahoo.com. I'm easy to find. fearlessfloydshow.com. It's on the thumbnail, right under your mugshot. I was hoping we could meet one day under different circumstances, but it is what it is. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Give big accolades over there to my boy doing his due diligence. And if you, that's not all he's done. He works on death penalty cases. I'm telling you, folks. I know a couple people, just a couple. I don't have any friends, but I know a lot of people. Y'all have a nice day. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. And it's been fun. This video was real fun because I love clowning attorneys because they think they're so fucking smart because they went 4 years of college and then they went to 4 years of law school and then they struggled and made it. And they're just like whizzing through the whole process of everything that they learned. They don't think outside the box. They don't do anything outside the box. They're not mavericks and renegades. Don't get caught up in the minutia. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. And y'all be careful. Kelli, don't forget, invitations only.